friends, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we want to share with you how we created this DIY custom wooden storage shelving unit in our garage. They can be very expensive, so we decided to make our own and we couldn't be happier. Okay, so this is how our garage looked like, actually what kind of state it was in before we started. There was boxes everywhere, things were all over the place. We just couldn't leave it that way. We needed some order. So we decided to go ahead and make our own. So we went to Lowe's and we bought 2 of these plywood sheets. They were $19 and they are, as you saw, 4 feet wide and 8 feet long. So we had them cut this sheet halfway, so actually lengthwise in half. So we get 8 by 2 and another one 8 by 2. So then we got these 2 by 4 by 10s. We got 4 of those, and we got 2 by 4 by 8s, 10 of those. So you can see it over here. We try to find the nicer ones. And then after that, we head home. We actually packed everything in our van, and it fit actually perfectly. And then at home, the first thing to do was to put down the plywood and then put the boards around them and mark how much we need to cut of those. So those 8 by 2 by 4 were perfect to align on the sides. We just need to cut the rest of them, as you see me over here, marking and cutting 2 feet. So first I cut one and then I marked the rest of them as I was going along. That way I made sure all of them were the same length. After we have all of them cut, it was time to assemble it. So we picked up these screws. They are decking screws, 3-inch long, and we're gonna position it just like this. So for now, we just want to create the frame. We're not gonna attach anything to the plywood. Plywood is over here just to guide us how wide the frame should be. So I believe we put 3 screws in each corner, and then we did that to all of them. So we created 4 of these frames because it really depends what you want to do. Our garage ceiling is 10 foot tall, so we wanted to create enough space to put a certain type of bins. We have all the same bins that we got at Lowe's, I believe, or Home Depot. So next thing we decided to do was to mark on the plywood the stud. That way, when it's time to cut it, it's going to be easier to cut. So here is the frame. And like I said, we created 4 of these frames out of these 8 by 2 by 4s. So that was the end of day 1. And then on a day 2, we started assembling it. But before I show you that, I want to mention that this video is sponsored by Dossier. If you have been following our channel, you know that we've been using Dossier for a while. We absolutely love it. Dossier is a company that creates perfumes that are inspired by high-end perfumes, but they're selling them for a fraction of a price. They are cruelty-free. They create perfumes and bottles from 100% recyclable materials. And what I like about them is that you can try it and you can return it if you don't like it and get money back guaranteed. There's also a free shipping on 3+ items. I try 2 new perfumes every single month. This month I tried one of my absolute favorite, which is Fruity Jasmine. It is inspired by a high-end perfume, J'adore, and I cannot explain how much I love this. It is perfect for any season. It is fresh, but it's also strong enough to kind of for a confident woman. I absolutely love it. And then the other one is Amber Mint, which is actually men perfume. This one is inspired by Versace. These perfumes smell absolutely the same like original ones, but the difference in price you cannot beat. Use code BLONDIE next door 5 for 5% off. Also, On top of my coupon, 5% off, there's also a discounts directly applied to the checkout. So you can go ahead and check them out and just treat yourself or others with Dossier. You will not regret it. Okay, back to the shelving. So now we took 2 by 4 by 10s. We stood them up and measured how high actually we want the first shelf to be. We wanted the first shelving to be a little bit higher off the ground because we wanted to be able to clean underneath, you know, a lot of bugs and dirt gets collected. So we wanted to be able to clean all that. We had similar shelving in all of our houses, previous houses, and this is definitely the way to go for us. We put 5 of the screws in the pattern like I'm showing over here, and we thought that will be the best to hold it. So the way we did is that we put these studs on the inside of the frame. So now we put it up just to see if it would fit perfectly and how it would look, and this is how it looked the first one. So like I said, these tall 10-foot studs are from the inside, and that's how we decided to do. And now we put it down, and it's time to measure and put the rest of the shelving. Again, depending how tall your garage is, how big your bins are, you can decide how big of a, you know, how much to separate the shelves. Ours were, I believe, 32.5 inches between. So I'm measuring over here. So it is 32.5 inches in between 2 shelves. And then we marked also 36 because that's how much where the top one needs to be. So for this, we use 2.5 inches screws. And this is how it looks like when everything was done. Now it was time to prop it up and put it all the way in a corner. And this is how it looks like. Next, it's time to put the plywood down. So we previously marked it, as you saw earlier, the corners. So we just needed to double check, double measure, and it's time to cut it with a jigsaw, all 4 corners. So after we're done cutting all 4 corners, I'm going to show you in just a second how it all looks like. And here it is. This is how it looks like when all 4 corners were cut. So that's where those cutouts are actually for the 10-foot studs. And when we put it in, this is how it looks like. Now, it was a little bit challenging to put the all the way top one. We are lucky that our attic door is right there and an attic ladder. So we were able to put that down, and using another ladder, we were able to put the top shelf up. Now, we added screws sporadically just to make sure this shelf doesn't get lifted off or doesn't move at all. As you can see, we're just putting the screws, and pretty much that will complete our shelf. One thing we still want to do is to secure it to the wall, so that's something we definitely want to do. It is pretty sturdy, but the reason why we want to add that is because I'll show you later, we are using one of the studs as space where we attached our hooks for the exercise equipment. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Now, breakdown for this, as you can see, is around $130. Really depends on your store. Plus, we have a Lowe's card. So ours was a little bit cheaper, but this is how much it would cost you. Now, these are the boxes that we, or actually bins that we are using. Like I said, we purchased them, I believe, in Home Depot. They're all the same. And with our measurement, 2 of them stack up high, and then 3 next to each other perfectly. So I'm using these labels to put everything that is in each box. So that way we can just push it in and know what's in each box. If we need to change something or add something, we can just pull it out and write another index card. Now, this is how it looks like when it was all done. As you can see, now we have even extra space on top, and I absolutely love it. I cannot be happier. I don't know if later on we will maybe stain it or paint it, but for now, this is what it is. And it's been, I think, a month and a half, and we're using it every day. It's still over there, and it's absolutely perfect. What do you guys think about this? I really want to hear your opinion. Tell me in the comments down below. Now, before we end, I want to show you how we created those hooks for the exercise equipment. Okay, so my husband got these carabiners and also these U-shaped screws. I don't even know how to call them. And we actually drilled the holes into the studs, as you can see over here. We measured it, we drilled it, and then we put those U-shaped screws, hooks, whatever, in there. And then we attached carabiners onto them, and that way we'll be able to add the resisting bands or the rope. There's one on the bottom that I'm going to show you in just a minute, that it's in just a second, that it's a little bit larger, and that one is for the a rope, the one that the very heavy rope. Here it is. And here it is. I'm going to show you right now how we use it. So pretty much you just hook it in and you exercise. My son uses these type of exercises every single day. My husband also. I do it once in a while, and here it is. It shows you over here. So very simple, very easy, and it's useful. And this is the reason why we want to secure it to the wall. And lastly, if you're new to our channel, welcome. We're so happy you're here. If you're not new, thank you so much for your support. On our channel, you can find a lot of great DIYs, especially wooden DIYs and home improvement. Please give this video a thumbs up, as that helps us getting our video promoted on YouTube, and subscribe if you're new. Now, I want to invite you to check out Dossier. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.